Hi guys, and welcome back to Pass the Move. For today's episode, we have, as promised, the game against Sporting, one of our league rivals, I suppose. Not really technical rivals, but yeah, let's show you what's been going on since the last episode and really, just give you some updates. So, let's start off with the league table. So we are in 4th, which is great. It's better improvement. We're still really far away from Benfica, of course. They have a game in hand, but still, even if we do win today's game, they're still, what would that be, 8 points away. So it's kind of a gap, but of course, there's still a lot of time to actually close on it. And we can actually start off by closing the gap between 4th and 3rd today against Sporting. So that's good news as well. If we win, if we don't, then, it's going to be bad news, really. Some teams here can overtake us. We really risk dropping down to about mid-table, which is horrible for us. So really a loss or even a draw is unimaginable at this point. But as you can see, it's really tight in the Portuguese league. I understand why they say these are the big three, because everyone else just kind of hopes for the best, I suppose. A lot of very similar results, very similar points. It's pretty tight. So I'm actually kind of impressed with the competition. But anyways, in terms of the schedule itself, not good news at all. So we did lose against our rivals in that last episode, 2-1. If you missed out, if you want, you could watch it. It was 2 minutes, 2 goals for our rivals there, and Assis managed to give us a bit of hope towards the end, but our rivals Goimeres actually managed to hold on in the end. We also got knocked out in the by Citibul, sorry, in the Taca de Portugal 4th round, which is really disappointing because our minimum expectation was 6th round, so this puts a lot of pressure on us. Well, on the management, really. But yeah, Bata got sent off in the 53rd minute, even though he scored. He was our hero initially. They managed to equalise and they got sent off, and they kind of just destroyed us after that. So I was very disappointed to see him get sent off and ruin the team's chances. Against Zoria, it was even more of a surprise. Our opposition were the one who got a player sent off, but they still managed to rally round and score, beat us 3-1 until Hassan got a goal in the 85th minute. He's playing a bit better than Nicola. I mean, I know he scored here, but it was only through a penalty. But yeah, this result is probably the most disappointing of them all. And just to show you the Europa League, how it looks, we're still top spot, but still very tight, and that's not what we wanted at all. So there's one more game to go, and we can go from being top of the group to bottom of the group. Actually, not bottom of the group, but we can miss out on qualification if things don't go our way against Sparta Prague. Yeah, Sparta Prague. And yeah, so the next result was against Boavista. I managed to rally my players here after this game. I told them, we really need to step it up. We've been doing okay, but we need to do better. Look at that recent form, it's just horrible. And they responded with the 21st minute goal from Santos. Not the best, but we did manage, helped us in the Premier League. That was the only league game that we played, since that period. So it did help us climb the table a lot. And it was good to put pressure on our rivals as well. Against Moriense, we lost 2-1. I think they beat us. No, they drew against us early on in the season. But yeah, this is a League Cup competition that I was telling you guys about. And there's only one qualifier that goes straight into the quarterfinals. And just to show you expectations, they expect us to reach the semi-final. I think it's actually semi-final, not quarterfinal. But yeah, not a good start by any means at all. Still time to recover though, so maybe we can still do that. But yeah, today's game is against Sporting, and that's the one that matters. And I don't think there's any other updates to give you. So I think maybe a little update is, as you can see, the general training focus in the last 23 weeks, well, a lot of it was actually spent on team cohesion. Now there's no unhappy squad, no one unhappy about the training, but players have raised a concern about the low level, I suppose, of training. Now, that's a bit confusing because we are playing on intensity level of average, and we are having a game every now and then. So I assumed what they meant was that we're focusing too much on team cohesion. So I've changed it back to balance, and hopefully that will actually help us. I thought, why not experiment and see if team cohesion can help you throughout the season, but I think that was kind of a bad mistake because my team can't seem to attack or defend well enough. So I might have to do with them just focusing on the team cohesion. So we moved it back to balance, and hopefully that will reap us some rewards soon, and hopefully help us climb up the table. So we are in December, 4th December, and I think we can finally kick off now and hopefully see a great game for today's episode. So great game in our favour at least. Hassan's the one who's starting for today's game because of his recent form. Vuk is there. Martinez taken over from Fonte, who was recently out with a tiny little knock, so Martinez has taken over. I would prefer to play Fonte, but unfortunately we just can't do it. And we'll talk about the rest of the team once we see the lineup screen. So apparently we're favourites in terms of the odds, but the expert thinks Sporting are favourites, and I would assume so. We are at home, but they are a tougher team, and it'll be a little bit of a while before we start to break apart this big three. At least not this season from what we've seen in recent games. And yeah, Eduardo Santos, normal inside forwards, have been a bit disappointing recently, but hopefully that will change. And Vuk starts, Rafael assist, Martinez, Goiano, Pinto, Rosic and Polino are what make up our defense, and Marafona of course in goal as well. And yeah, interesting formation there from, where can I see it? Yeah, from Sporting. It's very defensive. It's going to be tough to break them down. Hopefully we can do it, and hopefully today we can actually have our inside forwards performing well. So can't really tell our boys we expect them to win, but we can actually give them some encouragement. Morale's not too great, so let's see if we can do that here. Can the boys perform in a huge game and hopefully put some serious pressure on Sporting and on the big three? Really, this will be a standout performance, a statement. Really, actually, is what I meant. But yeah, I guess we're dominating the early 5 minutes of the game, but that won't mean much until we actually reflect it in the top left screen here. No highlights to note, that's not too pleasing. Wow, there's really nothing going on in this match. It's a bit strange. I guess the 4-2-2 kind of expects that. Santos, free kick, is he going to score? Oh, what a beauty that is, and you guys get a first row viewing of that. Really, we're getting a nice, beautiful replay here, and we just absolutely dominated the beginning stages of this game, the first half. 30 minutes, 1 goal to us, and suddenly Sporting have to come out of their shell a bit. Oh, we're going to get a beautiful view with a low, behind goal low. Oh, look at that goalkeeper stands, no chance. And that's the great thing about Santos. Not only is he a pretty decent inside forward, but he's definitely a deadly free kick taker as well. So it's an asset to have in any team. You know, if he didn't do that, for example, we'd be drawing right now. So you do need to bear that in mind when you're picking players as well, who to buy and who to sell, that business. Anyways, it's been pretty good. We've performed quite well. We've kept Sporting at bay completely, so I think we can be pleased. I don't think we necessarily have to tell players to kick on, because they have started off in first gear already by the looks of it. That's 16 shots to Sporting's 2 and 8 of them on target. Sporting nothing, not even a half chance, and we've edged out possession as well. So I think that's a really good performance. And barring, hopefully, Sporting don't get fired up in at half time. But having said that, it's actually us who takes the corner. Pinto, Rosic. Oh, that classic. Oh no, that classic combination between Pinto and Rosic. They've been destroying defenses in set pieces all the time. So I thought maybe they'll score again. That combination, they always manage to assist each other from set pieces there. And fortunately for Sporting and unfortunately for us, it actually hit the crossbar. No, it wasn't the crossbar. It was the post. Sorry. And they had a player there on the line as well. He actually did something. Normally players there don't actually do anything. So let's have a look at who's tired. A couple of players there. So Vuk, we don't have anyone to replace him, but we do have Thomas Martinez who can come off for Fonte, who maybe can actually, as an advanced playmaker, do something a little bit here. Rosic is a central defender, but Ferreira is actually a backup to Pinto. So I think that's the one substitution we'll make for now. And either way, we might need to save some substitutions for later on, depending on what's going on. But Sporting really haven't started the second half any better than they started the first. And we're actually proving something here, and hopefully I didn't just jinx that. Polino, stupid throw to Hassan, so I definitely just jinxed what happened. But Rosic does well to win it, and Fonte is on the attack here. Vuk, Santos, go on, take him on. Oh, instead he plays it safe to Fonte, which is good. And he's the one that loses out, so I guess that's not too good. Anyways, Sporting on the counter. Always have trouble dealing with the ball in behind. It's actually ridiculous. That's another thing I actually need to consider doing, which is playing a deeper line. But Vuk does well to win it as the ball-winning midfielder. Santos leading the counter-attack after Hassan plays him through. Who's he going to find? Back to Hassan. False 9. Find the right back? Nope. Instead he plays it to Vuk. Ooh, almost through to Santos. Can we deal with this ball now? We're out of shape, out of position. And Brian leads the way. And suddenly Sporting look dangerous for the first time in today's game. Thankfully he plays it a bit safe, but anyways, it is Choleto through, and De Royce is completely... Oh, there you go, offside. Great, that's perfect. I was going to say I'm going to regret what I just said, but that's great for us. Alright then, Santos for Fede, maybe he can get a goal for us too. He had a great game, Santos, so why not rest him for the next game? We need him to be in tip-top shape. No one else to really substitute that we couldn't substitute before. I think that's the only substitution we'll make. Alright boys, can we get an insurance goal? We deserve it. We do not deserve to draw by any means. Sporting have been... There's not even a word for it, just absolutely dominated. But here they are, probably going to punish us. Jefferson. Alright, we deal with the initial ball, but can we deal with another one here? Campbell. Yes, Pinto. Wilson. Please don't be an idiot. Okay, good. Marafona just knocks it forward, I guess. Cartabia, though, leading the counter. Can we punish them this time instead? Vuk, Assis, our anchorman, Hassan, false 9, through ball to anyone? Yes, that's the one. Ooh, Schleto does well there, though. Can we win the ball now again? Yes, our anchorman's there as always, Fonte. Ah, yes, that's a second yellow for Sporting, and they have to go back into defensive shape. Now, I'm tempted to go into control, but I'm going to play as safe as possible and stay in counter, even though they're down to 10 men. Can make our last substitution here with 10 minutes to go. And who deserves to come off? Who's had a good game? Pinto. Assis has actually had a good game, so we can take off him for his backup Mora. By the way, I actually do have some updates with you in terms of transfers, so I'll just update you that after the game. But we do have a highlight here. And is it going to be us or Sporting? Fonte plays it safe to Goiano, and can he put a good ball into the box as a wing-back? Instead he switches sides to his other wing-back, and can Polino be the one to put the good ball into the box? He's going to run forward here, don't lose out. For some stupid reason he thinks he can shoot from there, and Sporting are let off the hook. Please tell me that's the last highlight and it just ends 1-0, I'll be happy with that. Sporting actually playing better with 10 men. They've doubled their shots. They've managed to get one on target, unless I was there before they got a man sent off. But either way, it looks like it's going to end 1-0 to us, and this is a huge result I can't even describe enough. I told you about before the game how important it was, and my players have really stepped up today, considering their poor form. Joel Campbell, is that the Joel Campbell? Is he playing in centre mid now? Former Arsenal man? Yeah, he's on loan from Arsenal, right? Fair enough. Kept him relatively quiet, I suppose. But anyways, Paulino, is he going to do something stupid again? Nope. He kinda. But Fonte makes up for it, and the ref should blow the whistle now, please. Hello, referee. Match engine. Yes, thank you. And that is probably the best 3 points we've gotten throughout the game so far. So we almost beat FC Porto. We really should have won that game. We had a defensive collapse, but we didn't have a defensive collapse today against Sporting. And we might actually edge out Sporting in the Champions League spots, because they look the weakest out of the big three. So it's possible that could happen. So a good win for the boys, and a job well done without a doubt. And we'll talk about transfers in just a second while the game loads. So man of the match was Santos for his free kick, and I would not argue with that. Referees had an excellent game according to the match engine, I guess. Referee rating of 9.3. That's a really high rating. So I would not deny that with that offside goal. Some maybe referees might have made the mistake to have given that onside. But yeah, in terms of transfers, there's no ins or outs. It's just about who's asked for a transfer and who hasn't. So the players who've asked is actually Hassan, Matheus, and yeah, Moral. So there's 3 players who asked for transfers. The likelihood is they wouldn't have asked if they were happy with where we were in the league. or if we were performing well, not performing incredibly well, we're actually kind of average, meeting expectations type of thing. But yeah, Hassan for some reason not happy with his game time. I think he's had a fair amount, to be honest. I mean, starting 6 Premier League games out of 12, that's about half, and he's a rotation option. Before we turned him to not needed by placing him on the transfer list, he was a rotational option, so that's kind of the game time he should be expecting. Considering he shared half the game time with Nicola, who's actual first team and who hasn't complained about game time at all, I think. It's a little bit strange to see that, to be honest. Who else? Morrow, maybe he can complain a little bit, but again, he was a rotational option, so shouldn't complain too much. Also, whenever we did play him, wasn't playing too well, so Rafael Assis kind of deserved his spot. But either way, this is good news. We can sell off some players and actually bring off players of quality. So Hassan is a quality player, so it'd be unfortunate for us to miss him. But we can maybe get a player who's guaranteed to be a leading or star player for the division. Hassan's kind of, maybe going to make it there, maybe not, depending on his game time. The likelihood is, because of his game time, he might not actually make it. Where's the... Okay, there's someone here who had incredible judgment. Yeah, him. Alright, so apparently he thinks Hassan's better than Nicola now, which is a bit weird. He started off the season thinking Nicola was better than Hassan. But either way, that's a different issue entirely. Let's see if Nicola's also close to fulfilling potential. Alright. The likelihood is we're not going to keep either one of them because they're not false nines. They do have some stats for it. They are kind of comfortable playing it with it, but they're not an out and out false nine. And who else was it? Morrow. Yeah, if we sell him, he's only considered a good player for the league, so we can actually bring in a youngster with potential who can actually overtake Assis, who is also a good player for the league. Actually, so we might consider bringing in a leading anchorman. And Rafael Assis is just gonna have to play, rotational, go from key player to rotational, if we actually have the money for it, of course. If not, we'll just bring in a youngster to compete with him. Who else does that leave us with? The goalkeeper, Matios. Bit strange for him to ask to leave. I guess we weren't playing him at all, but if you're a backup goalkeeper, you really don't expect to play. He's only considered a decent player for most Premier League sides, so I didn't really want to play him. Normally I rotate my goalkeepers where Carlos Marafona will be getting the main game time in the Premier League, and then our backup goalkeeper will get all the cup games. There's too many cup games in this, in the Portuguese League, to be honest. Portuguese League Cup, the Super Taça, the Taça de Portugal, Euro Cup. So if the backup goalkeeper did play all these cup games, he would actually get more game time than our Portuguese Premier League goalkeeper. So we'll see how things go, see who we can bring in the January transfer window, but the likelihood is there's going to be a lot of movement. I've actually set everyone's transfer fee at double their value just to try and ward off some people, and maybe, Hassan's getting a bit of a run in the side now, so he might actually just say, no, I don't really want to leave. But in terms of promises, we did make promises. So we've promised to sell Matias, Morrow and Hassan. I did tell them before that they don't, that there's a lot of games left. They've got plenty of time to actually get some game time, but they really just couldn't wait, I suppose. This is all of them just about a month ago is when I told them that they don't have, just be a bit patient. And they agreed. They're like, okay, cool. And then the second time around, obviously the game doesn't give you the option to tell them to be patient again. And it just got to a point where they were all unhappy. So I just told them leave. I don't want to keep a player who doesn't want to be there. But some interesting stats here. So top goal scorer is Wilson Eduardo, and inside forward being a goal scorer is a good thing to see. I guess if our main striker was a bit closer, that'd be great. But he should be top in assists. Instead, it's Fonte, our advanced playmaker. So again, that's not bad. But Bayano, the wingback, being an assister is great to see, but a little bit strange. We should be expecting more from our, more attacking players, and it's good to see Pedro Santos there as well. 7 goals, 3 assists in the league. That's pretty impressive from Pedro Santos. Roy Fento actually having the best pass completion rate, considering he's supposed to be the player who's playing the most risky passes. It's kind of worrying, but kind of relieving at the same time that he's not being an idiot. But yeah, overall, the board are pleased with our management. 58% kind of outlines that, and hopefully that continues. So in terms of when we'll be back for the next episode, as always, it's 5 games time. So we've got the Sparta Prague game. Hopefully we do qualify for the Europa League. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's actually the Rio Ave game in the League Cup 3rd round. So we don't get to play each team twice. So it will be very important for us to actually beat Rio Ave and Balancese if we have any hope of actually qualifying. Let me check the rules, but I'm pretty sure there is no second best business. There's just, first place or nothing. So yeah, winners qualify for 3rd phase. Is that not even semi-final? That's not semi-final. There's more groups in the... Is this not the 3rd phase already? Oh, it is the 3rd phase. Alright. Yeah, top team qualifies for semi-finals. So there you go. So each team just plays each other once. If we win both games, we might edge out just about in goal difference. So if we beat Ave, that keeps them on 3 points. Hopefully someone else beats them, maybe. But if not, if we win both our games, it's 6 points. So it really will come down to goal difference. So we'll have to outscore our opponents, which is something apparently that we haven't had an issue to deal with. We were told that we've been scoring a goal every game, I think. I don't think we've ever not scored in the game. So let's see here. I think that's actually true. So we haven't gone one game without scoring. So that's the one good thing. We can't seem to defend, but we can seem to attack. So that's perfect for us. And long may it continue. So anyways, if you did enjoy today's episode, then please do, of course, hit the like button and subscribe for more daily Football Manager 2017 content. And as always, guys, thank you all for watching.